What's up, everybody? I know it's been a long time since the last episode. All I can say is that I've been very busy and I am super excited to finally bring this episode to you. I've been really excited about it and I am sorry that it's taken so long. That being said, though, we're going to be looking at days 91 through 95, so let's jump straight into it. Day 91, we begin with 82 prayer. Nothing really too special about this, just more prayer XP, making that progress, taking advantage of this ectofont while it's here. I believe this is the last prayer level I actually get here, so did make a lot of gains while it was here. Wish I could have done more, but I didn't really want to dump my whole bank into it. So that being said, all in all, very great progress. Went on to complete an Aberrant Spectre Raptor task, got around 45k Slayer XP from it. Nice thing about these is not only do they give double Slayer XP for whatever monster you're assigned to kill, but it's also been a lot of really good motivation for me to actually go out and do more combat than I would normally do. I'm very heavily skill-oriented in my playstyle, so this extra motivation has been super helpful, and I know it's going to help me a lot in the long run. Doing some work at Water Fiends, I got to 73 Slayer and got 79 range soon after that. Really great progress. Nothing super special about these. I can do Jungle Strike Worms, but they're not particularly a really great task, but the option is there. Finishing that Water Fiends Raptor task, though, 128k almost Slayer XP from that, just absolutely massive progress. As I've been saying, these are just really good, and I really hope that you guys are taking advantage of them. Hit the Citadel, my fealty reward got me to level 70 Herblore, which is pretty cool. I can now clean dwarf weeds, I guess. I can use an anti-poison totem. I remember when that actually used to be really good. I remember I bought that on my last account. Just for convenience, I used it in Pyramid Plunder and I used it around the Elven lands, but it's not really important with EOC out. But still, another 70 milestone, really great. While I was capping, though, I finally got to 75 mining, absolutely monumental. I now have one less requirement for Plague's End, which is just so great. This is what I've been going for. This is the reason I've been focusing mining. Now I can kind of shift my focus in the Citadel to something like smithing, save myself some time and some money there instead. I feel like that's probably going to be the most beneficial thing to be doing at the Citadel from here on out, but 75 mining is just so awesome. As said, though, I did go on to work on some smithing. I got to level 74. It is a requirement for a Clockwork Syringe. Not a super important quest, though, as far as I can remember anyway, so not a big deal, but still really cool progress there nonetheless. By the time I had finished capping, I had gotten 106k smithing XP, so it just goes to show you capping really does add up, helps your clan out, gives you a lot of really great XP. Just no reason to not be capping. Needed something to AFK, so I decided to take advantage of the massive bonfire in the Lumbridge crater while that was there. It did not last there long, so sadly it's not in the game anymore, but it was really great XP while it was there. 80 fire making, done and sorted, another level 80 plus skill. Really cool. There were a bunch of quests I needed to do, though, and prerequisites for quests and prerequisites for those quests, so I decided to knock some of those out. I got another slice of ham done, and then I went on to do Land of the Goblins. After that, though, I had finally had the quest requirements I needed to light the beacon that I needed for the flame gloves. I had hit 79 firemaking quite a while back. I didn't like training firemaking without those flame gloves because I wasn't training to the maximum efficiency, and that really bothered me. I needed to AFK things. Firemaking is always like in my mind. I'm like, yeah, I could firemake, but I can't because I don't have my gloves yet. I really want the gloves first, so I finally had set aside time to do this, and then I realized I need the quests done. So I did the quests, finally got my flame gloves done and sorted, which is fantastic. Now I can finally firemake at maximum efficiency, at least through regular firemaking. I don't know if I'll bother doing any Jadinko. I know that it's really good XP per hour in both woodcutting and firemaking, and it's super efficient for your account, and it's also free. That being said, it's not AFK really at all, and I'm a very AFK style player, and also firemaking is just so cheap nowadays. I mean, not even talking maples. I'm not doing maples again, but U-logs are disgustingly cheap. I will probably just do that to 99. I finally had all of the statue pieces I needed, though, to make another statue of Damarok. I've said it a million times before, this is a distraction and diversion that I really love. I wish I would devote more time to actually working on this, because I really haven't been. You can make one per week, but I usually wind up doing it every couple weeks, something like that. I haven't kept a whole lot of track. I got around 90k XP, though, from adding all of the rocks, which is really cool. And this was the end of day 91, though, at 2010 total level, 49.1 mil total XP. Let's jump into day 92. Began the day working on another Raptor task, got to level 74 Slayer. Nothing really special unlocked there, but after that I unlocked the ability to burn bones on bonfires. That's the cremation ability that came out with last year's Halloween event, I believe. So you can get that by killing any sort of ghastly ghost type creatures if you did not get it from that event. It's kind of cool, but it's not really super useful. I mean, you're going to get much better XP if you're pay to play just through using altars or the Ectofuntus. This is really only useful for free to play. Went on to get level 81 hit points, really cool there. I know I say hit points and not constitution, and I'm probably going to continue doing that. If that bothers any of you, then I'm sorry, I've just been playing this game for too damn long. Regardless, though, I finished that Raptor task, 43k Slayer XP, really good. Not a great task, Aberrant Spectres, but you do make a decent amount of money from it, so I can't really complain. Hit Ape Atoll doing some agility. I really do not like agility, but that is all right because I got to level 75. This is another massive milestone, not only because of just the sheer amount of things it unlocks, but primarily it's another Plague's End requirement for the quest for Elf City. Just fantastic to get this done and out of the way. That is 2 level 75 Elf City requirements done so far just in this episode. This is super exciting, and I cannot wait until I'm finally there. Really just needed to AFK and chill for a little while, so I got level 81, 82, and then 83 firemaking. 83 is the level where you unlock Curly Roots, which is Jadinko firemaking. And again, as I said, I don't know if I will really train there. Maybe I will at some point if I really want to be super efficient and there's just nothing to really do while AFKing. So it's a thought, but I don't think that's really going to be my main focus for this skill. Level 75 farming was achieved after that. Can now do magic trees and harmony moss. Harmony moss is going to be a bit more important. I don't think I'm really going to do a whole lot of magics just because they're very expensive. Finally, another farming level, though. Haven't had one of those in a while. I've also been kind of slacking on my farm runs recently. Hopefully I'll be picking that right back up. Working on a Calphite task for a Raptor task. Finally got to level 80 ranged. Tier 80 weapons. Pretty cool that I can now use those. I don't know when I'll actually be able to get any. Like, for example, a Zari bow is pretty expensive. I could work on getting something like a Royal Crossbow, but I've just never been a Royal Crossbow sort of person. Chaotic Crossbows, 300k tokens, that'll be a long ways off. Ideally, I would really like to get an attuned Crystal Bow, but for that, number 1, I need to get into Elf City, and number 2, I need to get an attuned Seed. And I know you get a free one if you have 90 smithing, but that is a long ways off, so we will see if and when I finally do get to that tier 80 weaponry. Finishing that task, though, was only around 20k Slayer XP. Not a fun task at all. I do not like Calphites. I know you can do them in a different place for more XP and stuff, but I just don't like Calphites in general, so I kind of pansied out on this one. Was working on getting kill count for an Armadillo task, and I finally got the frozen key piece for that. I think I have 3 frozen key pieces at this point. I'm not entirely sure. Regardless, it's going to be absolutely ages until I even bother to go to next for any reason, let alone need the key pieces. So that being said, cool to get this out of the way, but it's not really important at all yet. We did finally go into Armadillo, though, and we got an Armadillo chestplate drop. This is the best drop I've gotten on this account yet, split 2 ways. So still pretty damn good, I would think. I'm really happy about it, honestly. I can really use this boost to my account. The money is just going to be so helpful to make it that much closer toward not only like paying off a bond, but this is money I can start saving up for buyables, and it's just absolutely fantastic. My friend and I really only stayed for a few more kills past that because we just wanted to finish our Reaper task, and believe it or not, Armadillo hurts like a bitch, especially if you're only using Royal Dragonhide, so I couldn't have stayed much longer anyway. It was so painful, but almost 2.3 mil split for probably like 15, 20 kills. We were not there for long, so absolutely so hyped about this. After that, though, I went on to do Morning Ends Part 2. I did this on stream. I was in call with a couple friends, and talking to the Twitch chat made it a lot more bearable of a quest. If you know anything about me, or about this quest line in general, you would probably agree that Morning Ends Part 2 is the worst quest in the game. I absolutely hate it. I hate it more than Elemental Workshop 3. It is such a pain in the ass. I'm so happy to finally get this done. Don't have to worry about it ever again. Everything else from here on out is pretty much just going to be downhill. I was also pretty close to a summoning level, being that I had finally hit level 74, I believe the milestone was, where you can finally do Granite Lobsters. I decided it wasn't a bad thing to start actually training it instead of putting my free XP into it. So I finally decided to knock out that level 75 requirement. One more Elf City Plague's End requirement done and out of the way. Just absolutely beautiful to get this done. I was still streaming at this point, decided to do another Jad run, do it for the stream, it's always fun. And this was my 3rd try, and you know what they say, 3 times the charm, and for me it actually was. So granted, I guess it took me 3 tries to make sure I brought the right sort of gear in terms of like having enough prayer potions, having enough food, having slightly higher tier gear. made it all possible, finally getting a fire cape. This is my first decent melee cape I can wear that isn't like an obsidian cape. So this is actually really cool. I'm not going to sacrifice this one to get the fight kiln capes, just because I don't really think I'm in a place on this account where I could successfully do that very easily. And also, I figure I might as well just get another fire cape and then sacrifice that instead of sacrifice my only good melee cape. So fire cape done and achieved. So, so happy. That was the end of day 92 though. 2019 total level 50.7 almost mil total XP. Such good progress on this day. Let's jump into day 93 and check it out though. Began the day working on some hellhounds. I believe I had a hellhound raptor task, so I was killing hellhounds and also doing clue scrolls along the way. I love doing clue scrolls, so that was a lot of fun. I got to level 78 attack though, so cool progress there. After that, I went on to do Within the Light. Actually not a bad quest. I don't mind this sort of light puzzle nearly as much as I do Morning Ends Part 2. So Within the Light was actually pretty fun. I enjoyed doing that quest. Pretty good XP from it as well. If you'll remember, quite a while back, I finally hit that 62 thieving requirement to finish the last portion of Buyers and Sellers, which is establishing the Thieves Guild and kind of building it up. I hadn't really gotten around to finishing that until now, though. I had the supplies in my bank. I decided I might as well knock it out. So now I can finally train thieving at a pretty decent to efficient XP rate. Haven't gotten around to doing that yet. It is still my lowest skill, but it's really good to actually have that capability for whenever I am actually in the mood. After that, though, Herblore was the only thing I really needed to work on before I could do Plague's End. I had completed all of the quest requirements, and this was my last skill requirement I had left to do. I did some research on Wiki to figure out what would really give me decent GP per XP without being super slow. I did not want to clean herbs the whole way there. And basically what I found was I could do Harlander Tars, and theoretically, I could have made a little bit of profit. Now, sadly, they weren't really buying at prices that would have worked out for me to make a profit. But in the end, I think I only wound up spending around 2 mil, a little bit over that, maybe closer to 3, something like that. Really was not too bad at all. So everything being said, it was still a relatively decent speed of training. It was AFK like most Herblore training really is. So I don't really have room to complain. I could have spent a lot more. So I can't really make too much of a fuss about that not being the profit that the Grand Exchange prices could have made it out to be. Regardless, though, I started at level 70. I got level 71, 72, 73, and level 74 before it was the end of the day. I did not really unlock anything too special, though, along these levels. I don't know why that is. I guess it's just that I don't really get anything special until super high levels in Herblore anyway. But really, really great to finally get this much Herblore XP. That was the end of this day, though, at 2025 total level, 51.5 mil XP, drastic progress. Let's jump into day 94, which is going to be so monumental. Began the day by finally getting that 75 Herblore. So hyped about this. I now have all of the levels, all of the quest requirements I need for Plague's End, and you know what, guys? I fucking did it. Guys, we fucking did it. On day 94, ever since I made this account members on day 20, I was doing everything with the long-term goal of completing this quest and accessing the Elf City. And we have finally done it. I just cannot express how excited I am about this. This is just absolutely monumental. This is going to make the game just so much better in so many different ways. I just don't even have words. I really don't. I mean, this access, this opens up so many different training methods. Oh my God, I cannot even, again, I am just so excited about this. And I hope you guys are enjoying this too. Let's jump into Elf City. So as you guys might have been able to tell, I was a little bit excited. And you know what? I'm still excited. I'm on day 100 technically right now as I'm recording this video. And I am still hyped and so excited that I can finally access Elf City. Because this really has just been an incredibly long-term goal that I have been working very actively on for pretty much the entire time I've been members. This has been something that I've been keeping in the back of my mind, trying to make sure I'm training those skills and working on those ones selectively, training things efficiently that will help me work on those skills and things like that. So finally reaching that goal, I almost don't know what to do now. I have actually kind of figured out what to do since then, but at first I was just completely lost for what I should be doing with my time because I had achieved one of the biggest goals I had been looking on. Like obviously I want to max, but what do I do first? You know, what is my focus? What is my main drive? And I was just at a complete loss for how to answer that question. Regardless, though, this really does open up so much for me. I mean, I can AFK harps. Not that harps are super efficient or anything like that, but if you aren't able to pay a lot of attention to the game because you're busy with stuff, there's nothing wrong with AFKing something that's relatively inefficient because it's still better than doing nothing. When I finally get my mining level up, I can work at Saren Stones, which is also very AFK, amazing XP per hour as well. I'm only one level off from being able to fish at the waterfall, so that is just absolutely fantastic. Being able to do Harmony Moss in the future will also be really cool. Um, even if it's not even if it's nothing more than just something to give me suggestions of what to do, you know, plant some Harmony Moss and then go skill whatever that pillar is. That could be a really great method for working on maxing. I'll have access to the Prifddinas agility course in a couple levels, which is obviously the best agility course in the game, I believe, in terms of XP per hour. So that'll also be really great, not to mention it's like a relatively AFK course compared to other ones. I'll have access to probably the easiest prayer training method in the game, if not one of the best economically as well, because I'm definitely not going to be doing Frost on this account. And I think it's around 85 Slayer, so like 11 Slayer levels, I'll have access to the best Slayer Master in the game. And just all of these things all coming together is just so great. I mean, like, I even have more farming patches that I need to remember to do. It's just overwhelming, and I am so thrilled and excited about this. I mean, I even have a better place to train summoning. Literally everything gets better with Elf City, and I know I'm a long ways off of being able to utilize most of these things, but it's still just so cool. I mean, even just aesthetically speaking, it's my favorite place in the game. I mean, I waited like a month to get there when it first came out on my last account, and immediately after I got in there, I completely was like, "What the hell was I thinking? This place is awesome!" And I trained thieving. I did so many different things there. The place just looks amazing. It's full of fantastic high level content, and I'm just rambling and ranting and going on and on right now because I am just so excited. So let's carry on with the video now. I did actually leave Elf City and I went to work on a Water Fiend's task. This was a Raptor task. I got to 71 defense, which is pretty cool. Obviously doesn't unlock anything cool, but just inherently better defense is going to be really nice, especially for some God Wars Dungeon bosses that like to hurt a lot, notably Saradomin and Armadil. Went on to get 75 Slayer, which is pretty cool. 75 Slayer unlocks Kuradel, which is one of the, I mean, clearly the second best Slayer Master in the game. Also unlocks Gargoyles. Gargoyles are actually really good GP per hour, if I'm not mistaken. So those will be really cool to utilize as well. But once I finish this task I have from Duradel, being able to use Kuradel, going to be so great for this account. Went on to get 72 and 73 defense in working on this task. Finally switching over to training defense instead of other stats just because I kind of want to work them 10 tiers at a time, doing offensive and then defensive. And again, just really wanting my defense up so that way I need to use less food and I'm not so much of a leech at God Wars Dungeon. I did finish this task though, another 137, am I reading that correctly? No, 157 Slayer XP from this task. So good. Making use of the daily Serenity Pulls, decided to get some XP from that. I'm going to be doing this daily every day. Hopefully I will not forget because this is just going to be so great for my account in the long run. Regardless though, 76 agility, cool milestone, doesn't unlock anything super important. I mean it does unlock something, but it's nothing special. One level off of the agility course here though, so that's really cool. Went to crew with my friend again, got to 82 HP, then got 74 defense, and then after that got 76 Slayer. Really cool milestones. 76 Slayer is a, what's it called? It is the requirement for Muspa, which is also requires Fate of the Gods. This Slayer level actually did get me all of the levels I need for Fate of the Gods. Very important quest to get done. As far as I'm aware, there are very good XP rewards associated with it. Not to mention, I'll get the Shard of Zaros, which will also just be really convenient for God Wars Dungeon in general. Something I should definitely put on my list of things to do. Went to Zamorak God Wars Dungeon after that, though, helping my friend with his Reaper just for shits and giggles. Got a Troll Beam, a stupid elite clue scroll. I always get so pissed when I get clue scroll drops at bosses because I feel like I'm going to get something good and then it's just a clue scroll. But regardless, went on to get 75 defense. That's pretty cool. 112 combat is also really nice. Main thing about 75 defense, which is cool though, is I can now use things like Gonodermic is a big one. Can also use Spirit Shield. Spirit Shields are cool. I don't think they're really good really anymore. Elysian Spirit Shield is my favorite shield in the game, so it'll be nice to actually get one in the long term. Will cost way too much to get now though, just for like something cosmetic. I mean, I'd be using it cosmetically. I wouldn't use it functionality. But regardless, 75, really, really cool. The end of that instance, though, was 1.3 mil split between the two of us. Really nice. Can't complain. Another 1.3 mil in an hour. Maybe it was even less than an hour. I'm pretty sure we stayed the full time. But regardless, really nice profit from a relatively easy boss and getting a bunch of XP at the same time. That was the end of day 94, though. 2037 total level, 53.1 mil XP, and access to Elf City. It really is the most beautiful place in Gielinor. I cannot express it enough. I am so hyped about it. Let's jump into day 95, though, and see how this episode ends up. Began the day collecting a lamp from Meg, got to 75 Hunter. Very, very cool. Nothing super special, but another Hunter level down and out. Went on to collect some clue scrolls. I was doing clue scrolls on stream just for fun, having a lot of fun actually with this. At least I think I was doing clue scrolls. Maybe this is just a Hellhound task. Regardless, I did wind up getting 2 clue scroll drops back to back, which is really cool. Decided to record that and share it with you guys. After that, though, got 76 defense, and then I finished my Raptor task, which was Hellhounds. So really cool XP. I didn't keep track of the Slayer XP from this one, sadly. I think that was mostly just because I was doing a million different things and decided not to like keep the counter and then change the counter, do the counter again, and I probably would have gotten mixed up with Reaper tasks and things like that as well. Regardless, though, stayed there for a little while, got to 77 defense, which is nice, nothing super special, but another defense level regardless. And then I completed a second Raptor task. Again, I'm not sure how I had my counters working out, but I have 248k defense XP on the counter, so that being said, I'm pretty sure that was from the 2 tasks combined. Went back to Zamorak Outdoors Dungeon, got to 78 defense. So many defense levels in this episode. It's actually pretty cool because this is going to help me a lot in the long run. After that, though, we finally got a good drop from Zamorak. Zamorak is one of the few bosses that hasn't been good to us. We've gotten good things at Bandos. We got something good at Armadillo. Zamorak, though, has always just been so cheap in his drop for us, but we finally got the Garb of Subjugation. Really, really cool. I don't think we even stayed for much longer after this because we just wanted to, like, call it quits. At least that's what I think. Maybe we're there for the full time. Regardless, though, the split wound up being 2.9 mil almost for the two of us. That makes me think we were there the whole time. So excuse me for like just kind of spewing shit, but just so beneficial. I need to be doing way more Reaper tasks because these are going to be just they're going to add up so much. They'll help me with so many buyables. I can't express it enough. Hopefully, making this episode is going to be motivating for me. AFKing the harps, as I was talking about, it's better than doing nothing. If you need to AFK, the harps are not really a bad place to go by any means. Got to 78 crafting, though. One of the main reasons I'm doing harps, though, is because I do want to get to 81 crafting sometime in the nearish future. Main reason for that is because that's the level you unlock the ability to use, I believe it's decorated cooking urns, which will be really nice for any time I want to train cooking, can train it a bit more efficiently. I have a bunch of regular cooking urns in my bank that I can't really use for anything. I made too many, and now I'm stuck with them because I can't use them with sharks, and I don't want to cook anything too much worse than that. So, kind of a waste, but hopefully I will get the urns that I need in the near future. That was the end of day 95, though, and of course, the end of this episode. 2042 total level, 54 mil XP, just so much progress. This is one of the biggest milestones I've reached since whatever episode day 20 was in, where I was finally becoming a member. And I, again, am so excited to share this with you guys. I don't know what the next big milestone is going to be. I mean, obviously, it's been a few days since here, so I have done some things, but I don't consider any of them to be super big milestones. Nothing compared to this. So I guess we'll have to come and see what happens. Make sure you're subscribed if you're not already. That way you will know when the next episode is out. Hopefully it will be in the near future. That being said, though, thank you all so much for watching. I do really appreciate all of the support. If you have any questions, comments, concerns, roast, troll, anything you want, throw it in the comments below. I'll respond to you. Have a beautiful day. Stay happy, and I cannot wait to see you in my next episode because I will return and I will rebuild.
I will